Alright guys, as some of you will probably know, recently Tamashii Bandai released a few new surveys about different lines and stuff. Like I think there's a Yu Yu Hakusho one, there might be a One Piece one, and then there's this one that just says like Tamashii Nation 2025. I don't collect One Piece or Yu Yu Hakusho, so I don't really have an interest in those surveys, but in this survey, they do mention like the show overall and Dragon Ball and stuff like that. And I've decided to take this opportunity to tell Bandai how I truly feel. You know, they asked for your feedback, so I'll give them my feedback. Whether or not they will care or do anything as a result of my feedback, well, that's another question. So let's get started here. Respond now. Says, what was your favorite new display, release, or prototype item at Tamashii Nation 2025? Select up to 5. So I don't care about Gundam, of course. I don't even know what Sir Crocodile is. I'm only going to be looking at Dragon Ball here, okay? But I do think, based on all the Dragon Ball stuff they showed, the one that I like the most is probably the Trunks in the vest. Like, that is probably the one I like the most. So the Vegeta, the body is probably very similar to Daima Vegeta, and the Super Saiyan, what is that thing called? The new one that's coming out next year. But the head sculpt on that Vegeta doesn't look very good to me, to be honest with you. Like, it does not look like they could do better, you know? Like, I guess recently, but Bandai could do so much better with a lot of these Dragon Ball figures. Like, they really could do a lot better. And I feel like when I see them making other lines like Hunter x Hunter and that kind of stuff, like the Hunter x Hunter figures, Gon and Killua, look exactly like the anime. Like, spot on. Like, they look like third-party Dragon Ball stuff, you know what I mean? But when it comes to actual Dragon Ball, I feel like Bandai doesn't give it their best effort. And I think I heard someone mention before that there might be a bit of a conspiracy where Bandai purposefully doesn't make the perfect Goku figure or the perfect Vegeta figure, because if they made it, then we never need one again. You know what I mean? So they're gonna always make them slightly imperfect so that they could improve on it later, you know? Which I get it in a sense, but at the same time, the prices they charge for these things, these ridiculous prices, they should look like articulated Ban Presto statues. Like, these things should look next level, and oftentimes they really don't. I will say the new, the red Goku and the blue Goku, like, they look pretty good. I think the red one looks honestly really, really good. But you know how I feel about those gaps and those flippin' flaps, man. So I don't really care that much about it because I hate the flippin' leg design. It just looks horrible to me. But yeah, as far as Gohan goes, once again, I would probably like that figure more if it didn't have that weird hip design. So, Trunks, of course, has the horrible hips too. But the upper body, I like it a lot. I think the upper body on this one looks better than the Tonson for early Trunks, because when Trunks first showed up, he wasn't super jacked, but he got super jacked later, like, after the time chamber and stuff like that. He was a lot more muscular. And in the BoJack movie, the Broly movie. So I think the Tonson Art Toys Trunks works better for a later Trunks after he gets more jacked. But as far as when he first showed up, he was much shorter and a lot slimmer. So I think Bandai actually did a better job if you want that early Trunks, apart from the ugly hips, of course. So yeah, Trunks. All right, let's move on. How did you feel about this year's event, Tamashii Nation 2025? Items on display. I mean, I'm honestly I'm dissatisfied, dude, because I just hate that hip design and stuff, man. I don't like it. I just don't like it. People will be like, oh, you're hating. I'm not hating, bro. I mean, I guess I am hating, like I hate it, but people, they kind of dismiss your opinion as like, oh, you're just hating. It's like, no, dude. Like, if you like the ugly hips, then cool. You know, you like the hips, go ahead. But if I don't like them, then you should also be like, all right, cool. You don't like them, whatever. You know what I mean? I don't like the hips, man. They look horrible to me. I really do not like them. Design of the layout. I think that was kind of cool, I guess. They had like, you know, Goku fighting different people and stuff. So that was kind of cool. You know, if the figures didn't have the horrible designs that I don't like, then I'd probably like the design more. So I'll say, you know, let's say satisfied, because the design was pretty cool, I think, for the most part. Amount of information online. To me, I don't see any difference between this year and last year, so neutral. Amount of information on social media, same. Accessibility. I don't know what they mean by this. Like, what is accessibility? Do they mean the, like, how easy it is to attend the event? For that, I have no idea. It's in Japan, and I'm not going to fly to Japan to go to an SH Figure Arts thing. Yeah, so I was obviously not going to fly to Japan just to see some SH Figure Arts. So I guess neutral, you know, it doesn't matter to me at all. Let's see. How satisfied are you with the following aspects of Questant? Please answer for each separately. What does that mean? That's weird. I mean, these are the same questions twice. Items on display. I think this might be a typo or something. This might be like a typo because it's the exact same options as the previous one, I think. Oh no, this one says improved, about the same, worse. But it says Questant. Isn't Questant the survey thing? So that's kind of weird. Okay, items on display. I'm gonna put neutral for all of this because I don't know. This seems to be some kind of like typo. I don't get what they mean by items on display, and they're asking about Questant. That doesn't make any sense. Continuing, my gender, a male, of course. Where do you currently live? I live in North America. Any other feedback? Okay, so here we are. Here's the free range part. What is my feedback for Bandai? I would say, yes, stop charging ridiculously horrible prices for your figures. I have stopped buying most of them because of it. Krillin should not be $80. Hold on. Krillin should not be $80. Goma should not be $75. And flipping Glorio should not be almost $100. This is insane. But many people continue to defend your insane greed. What else is there? I want to say something else. Hold on. Insane greed, Glorio, Goma, all that stuff. Let's reread it. Hold on. Let's see here. Let me just zoom in so you guys can see this better, I guess. Stop charging ridiculously horrible prices for your figures. I have stopped buying most of them because of it. Krillin should not be $80. Goma should not be $75. And flipping Glorio should not be almost $100. This is insane, but many people continue to defend your insane greed. There's definitely something else I wanted to say, but I can't remember what it was. Oh, yeah, the hip flaps and all that. Also, please stop using those hip flaps for the Dragon Ball figures. Is his name Yusuke from Yu Yu Hakusho? I think so. Yusuke from Yu Yu Hakusho has a much better hip design. Additionally, hold on. You need to find a way to improve articulation without having so many flipping gaps. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's it. I can't think of anything else to say right now. But yeah, that's basically the bulk of it, I guess. Yeah. Prices are ridiculous, man. I haven't bought an official SH Figure Arts for quite some time. I think the last one I bought was Majin Buu, which was also quite expensive, like $80 for that, basically. I have not pre-ordered The Games Begin. I have not pre-ordered, of course, Krillin, Glorio, Supreme Kai, Guru, Nail, none of that, because I'm like, this is ridiculous. Like, you know, I just can't do it. It's just, it disgusts me too much. You know, I'm like, no, I'm not giving you $80 for a flipping Krillin, dude. No, it's not happening. So yeah, let's now submit this. And there we go. Thank you for participating in our questionnaire. And so I have voiced my opinion. As I said, whether they care, whether they do anything because of it, I doubt they would. Bandai seems to basically ignore any like complaints from people generally, especially regarding pricing. Like, you know, they just don't. I mean, they did have the best selection Legendary Goku, but Legendary Goku shouldn't be 65 or whatever to begin with. You know what I mean? Like, the general price of the figures themselves from the beginning is a problem. We don't need a cheaper version with less accessories. The same version that you originally made with those accessories shouldn't be what it is, you see? But anyways, guys, let me know what you think about Bandai, all their pricing, gouging, and basically scalping. It's just horrible, honestly. Like, it really, it's very, very disappointing to see, but it is what it is, I guess. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.